Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Low Hard Press Show. My name is JC out here in Atlanta, Georgia. Joined today with my co-host, Jeff. How we doing, buddy?
Absolutely amazing. 65, sunny, golf 2 days in a row. Great golf over the weekend. You couldn't ask for more.
Dude, it really was. Like, I don't know about you, but if the PGA Tour has to hang their hat on the fifth major, Riviera might be a pretty good venue to do it at. I mean, the golf course, just looked amazing, just looked prime, and then Saturday hits, and it just absolutely fucking unfolds as kind of a shit show. I mean, they had a 4-hour weather delay because of high winds. What the hell is this shit going on? I mean, Jeff, you and I have played in some tournaments with a few breezes in our life. Was it ridiculous or what?
So here's the thing. Great, you're right about the fifth major because that venue is awesome. The atmosphere around it, La La Land, old school vibes. The course is great. They could make it tougher if they wanted to, for a major venue. But here's the thing: to give the weather delay for wind, I'm not a fan of it because you know why? Everybody's got the same conditions. It's not like you've got groups on different golf courses or guys that are fucking playing early morning, late, and they're not going to get affected. Hey, this was Saturday. The cut's been made. Guys are out there playing. Let them play. Who cares if the scores balloon and they go way up? Right? Everybody's playing the same course. It's tough. Some guys, I guarantee you, some guys would have thrived in that type of situation, and some guys would have folded. But to just call it off and say, "Oh, it's too windy, guys." Come on, we've played in fucking hurricanes.
It's and you got to capitalize on the actual setup. I mean, PGA Tour events for the most part are generally dartboards. Like greens are overwatered. I mean, there's only a few venues on the actual PGA Tour where it's actually entertaining. The golf course is actually part of the story, and you dial this thing up where it is. Thursday and Friday was freaking hard and fast, and I loved it. I absolutely love the challenges of guys having to hit great shots into those greens and knowing and doing their homework, making sure their caddies are squared away and hitting them in the right spots. And then Saturday hits and you cut and roll the greens knowing that you're going to get 25, 35 mile an hour winds. Like if you have that expectations and that weather report, you put some water on the damn greens and you don't cut and roll them like you do on a Friday or on a Sunday. It just was like a poor setup for the PGA Tour, and I think they absolutely fell on their face. Kind of like the USGA does during the US Open when they've made a few mistakes out on the golf course.
Well, you're right, because the PGA Tour on a day like that, they know the weather. They know the weather a week out. They know the weather the day before. They need to talk to the superintendent at the golf course, find the easy hole locations, put pins in bowls, and put some water in the greens so that you don't have this happen. They all want to show the putt of Keegan Bradley's getting blown off the green, but in reality, how far would it have gone without the wind? It was slick anyway. It was going to go down. That pin was up on a shelf. So it's the PGA Tour's fault. They needed to fucking set it up a little bit easier, and I think they need to set it up to where the guys can play. They shouldn't be taking them off the golf course because it's too windy.
No, because that was it's Sunday. You see guys just laying on the range, like having pizzas. Just shucking and jiving. You got Jordan Spieth out there. You got Patrick Cantlay. They're all hitting trick shots into the wind. John Rahm's hitting these giant flop shots. And it's like, really? We're just going to sit here and wait for the PGA Tour to correct their error, their mistake? I would have absolutely enjoyed a complete carnage and an absolute train wreck on the golf course. Let them play. Fuck it. You're right. It's hard and fast. You set it up that way. Most of those guys were already on the golf course. You had the last group ready to tee off on hole one to start Saturday, and you blow the horn. And it's like, come on, really? And I get it. They're trying to protect their product. They're trying to protect the guys. They don't want Dustin Johnson to go shoot 85 and ruin a few PGA Tour records. But at the same time, that's what happens in the game of golf. It gets a little slick, it gets a little icy, and you sometimes you fall on your face.
So, but that's what's wrong with the PGA Tour. You're exactly right. They don't want these guys to look bad. They don't want these guys to struggle. But the everyday golfer and the average guy that watches, that's sitting at home with a fucking beer belly and a fucking pack of seeds watching the goddamn tournament, wants to see that. That is fucking great for the game. They relate. That is us, right? We don't fucking get a weather delay. We don't get a rain check because it's windy. I mean, come on, fucking let them play.
It was just absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, let's get to the actual golf tournament. I mean, besides, just the conditioning, I mean, to be quite honest with you, Sunday turned out to be a pretty amazing day for the most part. I mean, Sunday morning was full of golf shots. I mean, they had more golf shots on Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon than I had seen in, I feel like, in years or months. I mean, it was truly remarkable. You get to see a bunch of guys playing a bunch of golf, and it wasn't just your typical like, oh, hey, DJ standing there staring at his brother's, ass while he's trying to read his putt for him. You don't see them walking from one tee box to the other. You actually got to see guys hit golf shots, and it was pretty unique and pretty cool to see the wrap up of the actual event. Sunday morning wrapping up the round 3 and then getting into round 4 pretty quick. It was a fully packed day of pretty entertaining golf, and by the time the afternoon hit, we had a pretty good field.
So I missed the morning because I was golfing myself. I got a chance to get out on a Sunday and play. I got back into the clubhouse. I think the leaders were on like 14, 15. So I got to watch the end and the playoff. But I'm gonna say this, like, not having those big names, those guys that missed the cut, especially the guys we picked, made it a little bit more difficult to watch, because when you're fucking like a bottle of booze means a lot to me. And when I bet you, I religiously watch Thursday and Friday. And when I see our guys fucking play just god awful, it's tough to watch on the weekend when your guy's out of it. And DJ was a little far back. I know he got it to two back by the time the final round started, but he never really made a charge. So it was tough. But hey, I got to come watch the best part of it.
It absolutely was, and it was one of those things. I mean, you had guys. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. There was not those big boy names like Roy McIlroy, like Bryson, JT, and Harry Higgs. Just some of those big guys. In the mix, but at the same time, you look at the actual tournament and you realize like some of those guys were there, and some of those guys were absolutely better iron players, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it definitely took some of the strengths that some of the guys, especially on the PGA Tour, I mean, these guys had to hit great shots everywhere, and you had to be precise, not just off the tee, but with your iron play, and you had to be aware of your short game. And sure enough, I mean, yes, you might have had guys like Sam Burns leading the tournament after 3 rounds. DJ was in the mix, Tony Finau. I mean, you got Max Homa up there, but I mean, the way it ended was pretty remarkable. It's to see those guys struggle coming down the stretch. I mean, DJ shot 38, Sam Burns shot 38 on the back 9, and to see Max Homa really, him and Tony Finau, like, played absolutely crazy good golf on that more challenging golf course.
No, they did, and I thought the putt that Max made on 17, he got up and down from the bunker for birdie, and that was a really good putt. And then he sticks it on 18. But here's my thought, and you tell me how you feel about this, because this is kind of like, I felt for the guy. If I'm going to win a golf tournament, especially one of this magnitude for $1.6 million, $1.8 million, and I stick it to 3 feet, but it's a downhill slider, like I'd almost rather have like 12 and just like fucking lag one up there. And if I make it, I make it. If not, it's an easy par and I go to the playoff. Because me and you both know those little 3-footers, first off, everybody expects you to make it, so there's more pressure on you. But second off, if you hit the lip most of the time with a little bit of pace, you got 4 feet coming back. So, and you don't want to be the pussy that fucking lags the 3-footer.
Well, so no,
it's tough.
It absolutely was tough. And what was incredible was Tony Finau coming in the stretch. I mean, he made birdie after birdie after birdie, and wasn't even a highlight. Wasn't even a guy that was going to be in the mix, and gets up and down on 16, or makes a bogey on 16, gets up and down on 17 for a birdie, and then gets up and down again on 18. And it just looked like for a few moments there, Tony Finau was in the lead and then was just absolutely going to let it go, and made some incredible shots. But Max Homa, oh my God. I mean, you're right, dude. It's sticks it. I mean, he's 3 feet away from Tiger Woods handing him a trophy. I mean, his absolute hero, the guy that, was the reason he got in the game of golf. He went to these same events cheering Tiger Woods on for so many years, and he's 3 feet away. But I mean, you leave one of those fucking downhillers. I mean, holy shit. I mean, I'm surprised he made the freaking comeback. I mean, it just was kind of nerve-wracking. And he even mentioned it in his post-round conference after he won the golf tournament that he fucking choked. Like, he said the C word. He honestly said, I choked on the 18th hole. And he did. I mean, for the most part.
You're not supposed to miss a 3-footer in front of Tiger Woods, but I got it done.
Well, hey, it is real deal. And anybody that plays golf for money or professionally or in tournaments knows that sometimes the hardest putts to make are those fucking short birdie putts, because you've hit it so close. You've hit the best shot in your life, and everybody expects you to make it, or they're assuming you're going to make it. So you put all that pressure on yourself. And if you miss, it's like deflating, because that means you're going to go anger bang the next shot and make a bogey probably on the following hole. So, you'd rather have 12 feet and, something that's makeable. But if you miss it, it's not the fucking end of the world because they don't expect you to make it. I just give him kudos for getting it done in the playoff. He won with a par, which you don't like. I like. I think
it was, you definitely want to win with a birdie on hole 18. But I mean, he ties up Tony Finau with a par, and they head to the playoff holes, and they started out on 10. And hole 10, for the most part during the week, it was, it's one of those holes that they talk about all the time. And it seems like one of those like easy drivable holes that is so challenging because just the contour of the green, the bunkers and everything around it. And it cracked me up on how those guys, no one was going for the green. Like, it might have looked like that, but they were all trying to hit it just short left into those trees to just try and get up and down for a birdie. That was their whole entire goal. But it was cool to see that they started that playoff on that actual hole. And I thought it was pretty entertaining. I mean, I thought Tony Finau, honestly, God, you got to get up and down for a par. I mean, or you got to get up and down for a birdie. I mean, you haven't missed a putt within 10 feet for like 2 days, and you have a 7-footer. I mean, you get up, especially with Max. I mean, he hits up next to that tree. I mean, Jeff, you've hit some incredible. I've seen you hit left-handed chip shots. I've seen you hit some like backward shots before. How challenging of a shot did Max actually have? Was that the hooded lob wedge? Was that really that tough of a shot like they made it out to be when he rested up next to that tree?
I don't think it was that tough at all. They made it seem like when you go read the articles after the tournament, it made it seem like it was just the most unbelievable recovery, to continue the playoff. And I'm like, I mean, if he had to get it, fucking up and down, like that wasn't that fucking hard of a shot, but hey, it is what it is. Tony Finau, though, that guy, this just puts more of a weight on his shoulder, dude. It really does. Like, it's just another second place. I mean, it's $1 million second place, but it's just another second place.
I mean, if Tony Finau is like really looking at the golf tournament, I guarantee he's like, Max, you should have just made the birdie putt on 18 and never put myself in this position, because he absolutely kicked him right in the playoff. It absolutely was like, it was one of those things that Tony Finau was nowhere near the story. Goes out there and shoots like 65, 64 on a very challenging golf course, puts himself in contention. But then, the second playoff hole, Tony steps out, he's got 147 yards to a back left pin. I mean, hit a little nice drewski, hit to about 15 feet middle of the green. No, he pull hooks into the fucking bunker. And you just saw him absolutely implode. And Max Homa, makes a 2-putt par and gets the victory.
Hey, Max hit his approach shot. When he hit it, I thought that ball's turning right to left. That might be in the bunker too. It ended up being a good shot. And 2-putt victory. And it's hometown boy, even though he went to, what boggles my mind is this: like, he's that good of a golfer and he's an LA boy. Why didn't he go to an LA school? Why is he going to Cal? Why is he playing in Berkeley?
I mean, to be quite honest, I mean, you either chase the grades or the girls or the money that's being paid to you, I guess. I mean, college athletes, I mean, I know there's some rules changes coming soon, but I don't know. I don't know why you'd go play at Cal. That's probably, I don't know. I would definitely stay in Southern Cal. I mean, maybe get away from your parents, your family. I mean, But go to the East Coast somewhere. I mean, somewhere hot, sunny. Not Cal Berkeley. I don't know about you, Jeff, but
Hey, I'm just
I
saying,
would
if I'm a
not. I would
SoCal
not want to
boy,
be play. I would not want to be playing golf in fucking sweatshirts my entire season. In San
no.
Francisco.
Fucking, I'm a baby Bruin or I'm a fucking Trojan. I'm staying fucking hometown boy. Get to go watch good football, good basketball, good baseball. But hey, whatever. He takes ownership to LA. He's a fucking Dodger fan. He's a Laker fan, which nobody likes LeBron except him, but it's okay.
It's that's all right. I thought it was cool to see Max Homa. I mean, the guy, he said, I mean, if there was any golf tournament he wanted to win the most, it was this one. I mean, he put it above the Masters. He put it over every major championship. He put it on a golf course that was one of his favorite golf courses. And just his emotion after the actual tournament ended, dude was fucking losing it. I actually kind of appreciate some of that fire and the energy. When you actually get to see someone that's truly not just completely the Dustin Johnsons of the world of just cold face. Yeah, I got to win. Great, it's awesome. It was cool to see. But I mean, his ranking though of LA sports. I mean, he ranked himself as the Dodgers win one, Lakers win one, and I win one. I mean, what is he really third in line, or is he a long stretch from being top three? I mean, maybe in his eyes, I mean, he got it done.
Hey, he's not as popular. Let's put it that much. He's not as popular as those teams, but this is an individual sport. He's the big winner. He made a lot of money in this tournament. The thing that got me, and you wrote about it in the article this week on the newsletter, is the fact that he saw Tiger earlier in the week. He had a chance to say hi, go talk to him, and he was too nervous to do it. Right? This sounds like me and you. Oh, fuck. Even we might not be nervous. We might get kicked out and go try to say something. But he was too nervous to do it. And then he wins and he goes, well, now he's got to talk to me. That kind of resonated with me because that shows you this is a big deal. Tiger's still, out of the screen above these guys when it comes to his reputation and his aura. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That was absolutely unique and really cool. But I mean, how cool is it? It's Tiger Woods' event. I mean, he's going to hand him the trophy, but Tiger Woods also, I put on the headset, got in the booth with Jim Nantz. I mean, Jeff, how high did Tiger Woods look? Or he looked like he had about 9 cocktails late in the evening and woke up with a slight hangover. Jeff, he gets on there. He's bent over. He's just fucking looks like just, God, he's just had a rough go. I mean, and Jim Nantz, good for him. He carried that conversation because Tiger was not giving him a lot. Your take on Tiger Woods and his little his interview.
I feel like he's me on a Monday. Like when I come do this show, I've been on a 2-day bender. I'm usually coming off of golf. I haven't slept much. But was he puffy? My God, he was puffy. He was swollen. His gait was weird. He had a weird stance. The guys, and I don't put much into the memes and the stuff that all these other golf things do on social media, but they nailed it. I looked at some of those pictures and I'm like, he's either freaking on pills or he's drunk or he's something because he just does not look right now.
It was not a good look. And when Jim Nantz asked him, hey, Tiger, it's like 3 months from the Masters. You gonna make it? He's, oh God, I hope so.
Yeah, that right there.
Oh, just some of the comments and
if that tells you anything, usually he'd be like, yeah, I'll be ready to go. I'm going to start working out again or start playing golf. And to say, God, I hope so. Or, hope to God, that gives me zero confidence in him right now.
It wasn't a lot there. And it was kind of a scary moment to be quite honest with you. But hell, good for Tiger Woods, I guess. Hopefully he had a sober driver. But let's wrap up Riviera. A couple of the fan favorites were in the mix. Matthew Wolff, definitely was there. Looked like he, overcame his wrist injury. But one particular guy who absolutely was just, at one point in time was real close to the lead. Tyler McCumber, smashes his finger in a window and then somehow continues to play golf. Jeff, this was something that initially I'm like, oh, this guy's kind of a badass. And then at the end of Sunday, I was like, this guy's a giant tool.
So here's the thing. good story, right? Do I think they overblew it? Absolutely. You smash your finger, you cut my finger off, and I can still play golf, right?
No. The broadcast was saying like, oh, he had to go see the surgeon to have it surgically removed. I'm like, wait a minute, we're still talking about a fingernail, right? It wasn't like heart surgery or like he had to have his arm amputated because he was in a shark accident. It just, the thing got me. It's like his dumbass smashed his finger in a window. Okay. I'm assuming, the only people I know do that, either small children and or intoxicated folks, comes to the tournament and goes, and then the PGA Tour has a surgeon on staff. Good God. And then, two options: numb it, yank the fingernail, or bandage it up and you go home. Tough guy, numbs it, continues to play golf, but the continued headliner of, overcame surgery was a little much for me.
It was. It was just a storyline for them. Do I think he's tougher than Matt Wolff? Absolutely. I'll give him that. And the fact he played well the first 2 days.
Yeah.
Right. He was up towards the top of the leaderboard. He failed a little bit on the weekend, but I don't buy into it. It's not that big of a deal. Golfers are still soft. We'll say that.
They had to take him off the golf course for high winds.
Yeah.
Just come on. Like, it's the storyline.
Well, how many times did they show the bloody finger? Oh, I couldn't take my glove off. I couldn't take advantage. Bro, come on.
Like,
we've all had fingernails and toenails ripped off. Let's be real.
It wasn't like you were taking gunfire in LA. Okay. It's not like you went to the hood. Okay. And saved a group of small children and puppies. And you got winged, on the way out. You smashed your finger in a window. Okay. Let's be quite honest. Like, if you can't hit a golf shot, like with your little bandage finger, I would love to see you in an actual, like, real job or a real career. But good job, PGA Tour. Absolutely blowing that out of proportion.
I do want to give a shout out before we wrap up Riviera. Both of our picks to win missed the cut. I'm actually going to give two shout outs because Rory and JT were terrible. Harry Higgs, your pick to play the worst, played the best. He beat all four of our picks.
Crazy.
Right? So I'll give a shout out to him for playing good. But Jimmy Walker, my man, fucking got me another bottle of booze. Played fucking terrible. I think he was second or third to last.
Oh yeah. He was plus 8.
Just coming in, just solidifying another bottle of booze in my camp. So thank you, Jimmy Walker, past major champion. I don't know what happened to you, but thank you.
So the total is, as hot as I was this season, Jeff has overtaken me. He's currently up 4 bottles of booze. So look out, Cancun, Mexico. Yes, I was very thankful for Harry Higgs to puff his way around the golf course in order to really skate away to victory over Jimmy Walker, which absolutely entirely pisses me off. I mean, how does Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas not play good this week? Like, what does that say about their game right now? I mean, it just hit it really far and hit it really close. Come on, guys.
Well, it shows you how golf is such a weird sport that two of the top players in the world can be at the cut line, at the day of the cut line, can be 19 strokes behind the leader. 17, 19 strokes. Like, how does that happen? These guys should be killing. Who what was his name? Sam Burns?
Sam Burns.
How is that guy 12 under par on a tough golf course? And then you got two of the best players in the world that are sitting here at 5 and 7 over, and there's no chance to make the cut. That's golf.
I guess that's golf. I mean, maybe Rory McIlroy is busy, heading up his new rules, like the PGA Tour's like commissioner of like rules or some bullshit for the players. It's just it's kind of ridiculous. And then Justin Thomas, I mean, I feel bad for him. He's had a rough go. I mean, some of the language he used, and then his grandfather passing away, but he looked just absolutely beaten down. He almost looked like Tiger Woods on Sunday. It just was like, good God, if I'd have known that, I thought you were going to be coming out with some fire and being pissed off. No, you look like a sad puppy. It just, come on, JT, like, get your head out of your ass. Like, you need a little anger bang in you. Come join us on the Instagram show. But let's wrap with that, Jeff. I really appreciate it, buddy. Wrapping up Riviera. I mean, I look forward to them coming back at some point in time, and they've got to figure out a way to get this place a major championship or a Ryder Cup. I mean, how cool would it be if there was just 200,000 fans out there just screaming and moaning on some of those pretty unique golf holes.
Well, it's set up perfect for stands and fans, that's for sure. So they could have some really good amphitheater style holes there. Give them something. But absolutely, a major championship could be done overnight there.
I love it. Hope you guys enjoyed that segment. And do me a favor, go check out the Golf Email newsletter, and go check out some of our hats. We pressed up some hats, homemade, American made. We've only got like a handful left, which is kind of shocking and crazy. But really appreciate it, guys, and we'll see you guys next week or in a couple days or whenever.
Hashtag made in Georgia.
Made in Georgia. Georgia peach. I should put a peach on there.